And for you to fully understand this story, we're going to talk a little bit about the pandemic. So I found myself in a bit of a niche that is not interesting to my nieces and nephews, but it is successful. What do? You have a successful YouTube channel. Big problem. I totally understand if you don't want to watch a video about a foreigner living in Taiwan or anything with some silly lion in it. What? Silly? Hey, hello. So when I started this YouTube channel, I had very different intentions than where the channel is now. And this is the mistake that I'm talking about. This is a mistake that I made. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about my personal history, recent history, and why I made the channel, as well as answer the burning question, what is up with that lion? This is actually not my first YouTube channel. When I moved to Japan and when I moved to Vietnam, I used to make short videos for my family to watch, but these were on a private channel. So what changed with Taiwan? Why did I approach Taiwan differently? Well, the answer to that question lies in the name of this channel, uncletopher, uncle. I made this channel with the intention of my audience being my nieces and nephews back in the USA. And for you to fully understand this story, we're going to talk a little bit about the pandemic. At the very beginning of the pandemic, I suddenly moved from Vietnam back to the USA. Of course, the pandemic was a very difficult time for many people, including me, especially in the early months of the pandemic. There was just so much uncertainty about everything. I was very sad to have to suddenly leave Vietnam and go back to the USA, especially because the USA, there was so many cultural and political tensions and division. I mean, not only was it a pandemic, but it was also an election year. Overall, it made me really anxious. Luckily, I was still able to teach. I was able to teach online. So I was able to teach online almost entirely to Chinese students, but it was a difficult schedule because of the big time difference between the USA and East Asia. So I would have to wake up at like 1 a.m. to start teaching. It was not great for sleep, which getting bad sleep, that's not good for mental health. And that was going really well until the CCP passed a law that basically shut down all the online English teaching. So the entire online English teaching industry in China basically went away overnight. And that's what happened. I lost my job overnight with almost no warning, pretty much zero warning. The company that I was contracted with just shut down. Losing my job, that was a real low point for me. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't very happy being in the USA. Like I said, there's a lot of political and cultural tension in the USA, especially during election years. The pandemic didn't make things any better, made them worse, much worse. And then, just a few weeks after losing my job, I got diagnosed with cancer. That's right. I learned that I had cancer, which wasn't fun at all. That was kind of scary. But that's a different story. I'll tell that story a different time. That's not this story. However, it wasn't all bad. You see, I got to spend a lot of time with my sister's family, and that means my sister's kids. So I got to know my nephew, Milo, really well. He's a great kid, super fun. And at the very beginning of the pandemic, my little niece Clara was born. And I got to spend her first few years of life together with her. I saw her go from baby to little toddler to little girl. Wonderful. It was just an awesome experience. I love those kids so much, so much. Now these kids, they call me Uncle Topher or Uncle Toph because my name is Christopher. See, Christopher, Topher. Get it? And they love YouTube. These kids, they love YouTube, especially Milo. He thinks YouTube is so cool. He thinks YouTubers are super cool. He's told me that he wants to be a YouTuber. All right, cool. So the big reason why I even made this channel to begin with was to show my nephew that it's possible to be a YouTuber. You just have to put the work into it. I wanted to be an example for him, a good example. And I wanted him to think I was kind of cool. So my first intention with making this channel was just to show the kids what life is like living in a different country, and that it's okay to try something new. It's okay to go out and have an adventure. It's fine. It makes life exciting. So I started this YouTube channel thinking that my audience was going to be my family, primarily my family. Maybe some other people would watch, maybe. I really just only expected like 50 views on a video. Well, as it turns out, my YouTube channel has grown very fast, crazy fast, way faster than I ever expected. Like, I was making money in my first 3 videos. That's insane. That's crazy. And of course, most of my audience lives in Taiwan. And most of my audience subscribed to my channel because I started talking about geopolitics and the military. Now, I understand that I have a little bit of a unique perspective on geopolitics because I am a combat veteran. I've been in war. So I totally understand that people are interested in my perspective on some issues. And I love to pay attention to geopolitics and military stuff. I mean, it's a hobby of mine. So I'm happy making these types of videos. However, these are very different from the types of videos that I initially wanted to make. And my nieces and nephews, they're just kids. They're not interested in that sort of stuff. Now, the problem is that I don't want to be just trapped into only making geopolitical content. I also want to make content that shows how Taiwan is just a cool, fun place to live. I can hear some of you saying right now, oh, you have a successful YouTube channel, but a big problem. I'm super grateful for everyone who subscribes and watches. I mean, really, though, I never thought that making a YouTube channel would change my life, but it has, for the better. It's been awesome. So I have found myself in a bit of a niche that is not interesting to my nieces and nephews, but it is successful. What do I do? Well, don't worry. Kaohsiung drivers still going to make geopolitical content and military content because it's a hobby. I am interested in this stuff, so I'm happy to talk about it. However, I'm also going to make more videos that are focused on Taiwan and how Taiwan is just a very cool place to live. Videos that are interesting and friendly for a younger audience, kind of like some of the first videos I made. If you've watched some of my earlier videos, you've probably seen this lion. I call him Lazy Lion. That's me. And you might be asking yourself, what's up with this lion? Well, the answer's pretty simple. He's fun. He's fun for kids. I'm super cool. Your time is important, and I respect that you're spending your time watching my videos. So if you came to my channel because of geopolitics, I totally understand if you don't want to watch a video about a foreigner living in Taiwan or anything with some silly lion in it. What? Silly? Now, if I make some silly video, he'll be in the thumbnail picture, so you'll know that it's just a joke. And if you don't want to spend your time watching that, I get it. I understand. After all, this lion is kind of weird, it's stupid, it smells bad, doesn't do any chores, he's really bad at geography. It just kind of sucks overall. But the kids like him. So I will be making more military and geopolitical focused content. But I'll also be making less serious videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Big thanks to everyone who supports the channel. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. Peace, love, teeth. Say goodbye. I was saying goodbye. That's exactly what I was doing. Say goodbye to your ear. What?